The Father has revealed to you today that your heart's mission is to be a Christian who is not toxic. You should bless those who are speaking ill of you and reviling you with their remarks. If they choose to ignore you in your time of need, you should go out of your way to demonstrate that you care about them and, more importantly, that you are concerned about what is going on in their lives. When those around you engage in malicious words and gossip about others, even those who have defamed you, hurt you, and put you down, refuse to join in, for surely those words and the tenor of those words will determine what happens next in the lives of those who give themselves the luxury of slandering those for whom I sent heaven's darling to the cross for their redemption. If you want to be in love, think in love, act in love, and walk in love, you should make it your resolve to be in love. There are some people who will not comprehend or comprehend it, and there are some people who will go to great lengths to exert pressure on you and to arouse your flesh against them. This is because they will never be able to accept the testimony of someone whose love, tolerance, and generosity of spirit is greater than your own. The days are wicked, says the Father. Do not let that evil, the harmful influence of the world, and even the jaded, lapsed attitude of those who name my name on their lips to come to pass. Away from the hue and din of negativity and the cacophony of screaming, furious voices, my lover, and get away from both of these things. You are the one who is angry, I am not angry. In a single instant, if I were to become enraged, would breathe from my nostrils and consume the entire world along with everything that is contained inside it. I am constrained by my affection. If I say, "It is finished," then why are you still resentful? It was because of my love for you that I sent Jesus to the cross, and I poured out all of my fury upon him until he cried out, "It is finished." Let go of it. In the event that you forgive, release, and bless me, I will take you on, not in servitude to your history but in freedom as you move forward into your future. Those who are pessimistic about the future are holding up and pointing to their own false messiahs. It is my opinion that politics will not be able to save you. In my opinion, the location of the finish line remains the same even if the ancient landmarks are removed. To enter my kingdom, press in. It is not acceptable to evaluate either yourself or my regard for you based on the standards of man's regard. Because I love you, and I will never stop loving you. I love you because I love you because I love you. My affection is directed toward you in order to protect you. I am currently in the process of rescuing you with my love wings. My love pours forth its ointments into every wound, every scar, and every bitter disappointment in order to bring sweetness and light against not in the false glare of man's viewpoint, but in the light of my glory emanating from the throne that creates a transformation in you from the inside out. Situational factors? The very act of looking at them constitutes a submission to their authority. In your life, if you continue to regard the situation as if it were God, you will never be able to overcome those restrictions. If you do not reform and repent, you will continue to make the situation your God. During the time that the people were being assaulted by serpents, what did Moses say? He brought up that which was a representation of what I had done on the cross and said, "Look and live." At that moment, if you allow yourself to be distracted by the visible, allowing the invisible to be overshadowed and my power to be eclipsed along with it, you will be doomed to a life of delay and disappointment. Refrain from look at, instead, I will tell you to look through, for when you do so, I will come and make my dwelling with you, and I will cause you to live the ascension life that the cross so generously paid for. This will allow you to enjoy my blessing not just in paradise, but also in the here and now, in the midst of what is happening around you. The Father is saying to you today, open your eyes and your heart, not just to see, but to truly witness the greater blessings and higher callings that I have laid before you. You should not let the ordinary, the duties and problems that you face on a daily basis, restrict your wings and diminish your delight. Keep in mind that these challenges and difficulties are comparable to dust devils whirling around on the plains. It is possible that they will produce a brief interruption, but they do not possess actual power. It is not my throne that is the source of their vitality, rather, it is a transient darkness that is unable to endure the light of your divine purpose. These fleeting storms are not meant to hold you captive in any way, not even temporarily. I have pronounced life over you, life that is plentiful and overflowing, and I promise that your spirit will not be extinguished through this. Turn your attention inward, to the spot where you have managed to maintain your optimism, even in the face of challenges that appear to be insurmountable. Today, I bring you a renewal, a song to chase away any lingering shadows of doubt, a flame to rekindle your fire, and fresh air to fill your lungs. All of these things are coming from me. This is not only a transitory lift, rather, it is an ascension, a raising up out of the limits and problems that have been weighing you down. When it comes to the truth of who you are in me, your past regrets and human frailties may mumble accusations, but they have no influence over the truth whatsoever. My promise is the foundation upon which your identity is built. It is a guarantee of unfailing provision, unwavering presence, and an impenetrable wall of protection. Today, that promise unfolds as a canopy of favor, engulfing you fully, a concrete symbol of my enormous love. Bear in mind, young one, that your wings are not intended to remain rooted to the ground. You were designed to soar through the air, to soar high above the clouds, and to experience the breathtaking panorama of your potential. Do not allow fear or doubt to stifle your ability to fly. Have faith in the power that emanates from my presence, the knowledge that sheds light on your way, and the love that drives you forward on your trip. Raise yourself above the routine, liberate yourself from the constraints, and allow yourself to step into the wholeness of who you are meant to be. The purpose of this message is not to encourage you to shirk your obligations or to disregard the facts of life. A call to transcend them is being made here. Don't look at challenges as obstacles, rather, see them as stepping stones that will lead you to greater heights. Instead of viewing difficulties as burdens, you can look at them as chances to help you become more resilient and strong. Embrace every experience, because even the ones that appear to be terrible have the ability to bring about some sort of growth or transformation. It is important to keep in mind that I am always by your side, no matter what. For when darkness is approaching, call upon my light. If you are feeling burdened, lean into the strength that I provide. Hold on to my promises even when doubts begin to speak. Now, dear one, I want you to open your eyes and realize the magnitude of the blessings that I have to offer. Extend your heart and allow yourself to experience the power of your genuine potential. Raise yourself beyond the mundane, accept your extraordinary calling, and be aware that each step you take toward achieving your goals brings you one step closer to coming into contact with me. Now, with your wings spread wide, you should go forth and get ready to soar. The Father encourages you to use your spirit of generosity to serve as your source of energy, allowing grace to pour freely onto everyone you come into contact with. There is no need to be concerned about its depletion because I, the very origin of love, am here within you. Make room for my limitless love to flow through you, so that it might have an impact on people's lives through its transformative potential. Make your love known to everyone without conditions, and let it shine like a banner that everyone can see. Because genuine generosity has no limits, it is important to give without expecting anything in return. It is important to extend forgiveness in abundance, even when it appears that forgiveness is not warranted, since in doing so, you are reflecting my own unwavering grace. It is important to allow your love to be bold and courageous, a power that goes beyond the boundaries of human comprehension. Look for those who don't seem to deserve your affection and who haven't proven themselves worthy of it. The expression, "I choose to love you, and nothing can change that," should be used as a declaration rather than a bargaining chip when you shower someone with affection. My dear child, this is the audacity that love possesses. Love's fundamental nature is to defy restrictions and flow freely, despite the fact that human restraints may seek to bind it. It seeks connection, even in the most unexpected places, since love takes place in a different domain, one that is unaffected by failure or defeat. You are invited to bring your goals, dreams, and innermost desires into this world of love that has no limits. Faith blossoms without effort in this place, lending solidity to every vision and dream that is nourished by my eternal seed that is contained within your heart. You should allow love to serve as your compass, directing you toward a life that is brimming with purpose and significance. Keep in mind, youngster, that genuine kindness does not come with any conditions attached. There is no exchange taking place, rather, it is a gift that is freely given with an open heart. When you love without conditions, you become a conduit for my own love, bringing light and hope to a world that is in dire need of both. In order to distinguish yourself from the rest of the crowd with your bold love, you need not be frightened to be unique. In order to declare the transformative power of divine love to all those who witness it, let your deeds speak louder than words. It is important to keep in mind that the warmth of genuine compassion has the power to melt even the most stony souls. My child, I want you to go out into the world today and be a living testimony to the limitless love that is already there inside you. Inspire others to draw closer to the source of all love and light by allowing your life to serve as a beacon of hope. It is important to keep in mind that I am constantly cheering you on as you embark on this wonderful voyage of bold love. I am always with you, every step of the way. Today, the Father invites you to come and sit with me in the peace and quiet. The noise in your mind should be allowed to settle down, just like dust particles sinking in a sunbeam. It is not merely comprehension that I convey to you, rather, it is something much more significant, tranquility. This peace is not the fragile ceasefire that the world has fallen into, which is constructed on the shifting sands of situations. This is my peace, which is unchanging and certain, having been born of eternity. You have a strong want to get answers, explanations, and the rationale of my involvement in your life. However, my ways are not the same as your ways, and my thoughts are not those of yours. The pursuit of understanding is analogous to the pursuit of shadows, which are ephemeral glimpses of a magnificent tapestry that you are not yet able to fully comprehend. Instead, give yourself to the peace that I offer. You should allow it to wash over you, removing the worries and uncertainties that are obscuring your perception. It is not by cerebral gymnastics that a more profound understanding is revealed in this tranquility, rather, it is through the peaceful promptings of my spirit that are present within. It is important to keep in mind that I do not reside in the maze of your intellect, but rather in the holy sanctuary of your spirit. I am a king in his inner sanctum, radiating love and power, and it is there that I maintain my dominion. You need to get away from the never-ending speculations and the nagging doubts that are persistently bothering your emotions. The presence of my splendor that shines brilliantly within you is apparent, therefore, you should turn your attention toward the light. You are not alone, so you should not be afraid. Your spirit man is a treasure trove that is ready to be uncovered, and it contains all of the treasures that mine country has to offer. I am going to unlock it for you today. You are able to delve into the limitless fountain of my supply now. This unending supply will fulfill all of your requirements, no matter how big or how tiny they may be. More than that, I offer you a sense of tranquility. There is a peace that is beyond comprehension, a peace that is independent of circumstances and calms the storm. Your defense, your anchor, and your constant companion are all comprised of this tranquility. Use it as the basis for your life, the foundation upon which you construct your existence. Be joyful, for happiness is your inheritance. Walk in joy. My love is playing a melody on the strings of your soul, and it is me performing that melody. It is the sign that prayers will be answered, and it is the expectation of all the good things that are to come. You should cling to joy and take care of it because it is the fuel that drives you onward and the light that lights the route that you should take. Take care not to be fooled. You are the recipient of my joy, an unquenchable flame that cannot be extinguished by any darkness. Always keep your attention concentrated on me, the source of your delight, and allow the completeness of my happiness to pour over you. For I am not a God who would want you to go through life without experiencing joy. I have woven it into the very fabric of your existence, and it is my gift to you. Your heart should be open and accepting, and you should allow it to be the catalyst for every prayer that is answered and every desire that is realized. Please keep in mind that child, peace, and joy are not far-off destinations but rather gifts that are freely delivered right here and right now. Let them be the guiding stars that enlighten your trip as you walk in them, live in them, and let them be your companions. Always and at every stage of the journey, I am at your side. Today, the Father instructs you to let the weight of my words to fall upon your center of being. My words are not intended to dazzle you with their grandeur, but rather to stoke the fire of purpose that resides within your spirit. This is your solemn declaration, therefore take action. Because I am a member of the kingdom of God, I refuse to live below my privileges. The blood of my Son, which was freely shed, was not merely an act of sacrifice, rather, it was a crowning of the King. Your birthright is ingrained in the very fabric of your being, and you have that right. This is not merely a wishful thinking, rather, it is a fact that has been established in heaven and is just waiting to be made manifest in your life. Despite the fact that you may have been surrounded by weakness like a shadow and that failure may have spoken its treachery to you, I want you to know that these things are not your birthright. Always keep in mind the desert, which is a region of parched misery and hopelessness. Nevertheless, even in that location, from Zion, I brought out deliverers, people who defied the hardness of the region and flew the banner of my promise. This is a roll call of the devout, and you are included in it as well. Despite the fact that you are surrounded by the desert, your deliverance is predetermined. My buddy, you must not confuse the act of struggling with defeat. The difficulties you face are the whetstones that hone your faith, the crucible that burns away impurities and reveals the gold that is contained within you. Keep in mind that I made a promise that stated, "You shall call upon me, and I will say, here I am. This is not a promise that remains unfulfilled, rather, it is a covenant that is carved in the annals of time. Permit your voice to raise, brimming with self-assurance and anticipation, with the knowledge that I am standing by, ready to respond. Your character, your holiness, and your favor in my eyes are not something that the adversary can take away from you, I declare over you. This is a present that was purchased at an unfathomable price, and it will remain in your possession forever. Therefore, you should have larger expectations. Do not accept a lesser version of yourself or a watered-down experience of my grace. Refuse to settle for either of these. You are destined to walk in the fullness of my grandeur, a living monument to the power of redemption. This is your destiny. Rather than attributing your blessings to chance or happenstance, you should not reason away your gifts. Acknowledge them as the material manifestations of my love, the threads that are sewn into the fabric of your life. They are not only ornaments, rather, they represent the foundation for a future that is filled to the brim with accomplishments and a sense of purpose. Take into consideration that this is not a one-sided undertaking. At each and every stage of the journey, I am at your side. Your faith will take flight if you accept my presence, draw power from my message, and allow it to take flight. Through our combined efforts, we will be able to drive the darkness away and seize the victory that is properly yours. The words that I speak are spoken with love and with optimism that does not waver. It is yours to go forth and make it so. Today, the Father instructs us to labor while it is day, since by the time night arrives, no man will be able to work. There is a period when you should go to a spot within yourself where you may be alone and wait for the dust to settle. There is no such thing as flesh. The first thing you should do in reaction to the sinful flesh that is trying to confront you is to look to the throne. The adversary will always make an effort to divert your attention away from my face, says the Father. He will do this by sending you diversions. The enemy is bearing down on you with his falsehoods, threats, and oppression, yet, you must make it your commitment to look to the throne. As your defense and shield, I am here for you. If you choose to focus on me and refuse to allow any distractions to distract you, the strategies of the enemy will only serve to facilitate his own demise, and not your own disaster. As a result, the Father encourages you to go forward and seek the kingdom. Go ahead and wait for me to come out. Please allow me to direct you with my eye. On your behalf, I will cause the winds and the waves to recede, and I will cause the storms of men and devils to be stilled. I will do this because you are looking to me. I will bring the immediate deliverance of my deliverance into your circumstance and set you in a place from which you will not be moved or molested in any way. This will happen as you continue to trust me. Believe in my faithfulness and have faith in the word that I have established. Neither will I ever let you down, nor will the fulfillment of my promises ever cause the bank of heaven to overdraw on your behalf.